Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angelique and today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do this Halloween trick-or-treat makeup look. So clearly you can see it's a trick-or-treat, but yeah, so we got like the trick on here, the treat over here. So yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys how I do the majority of it. Keep in mind some of it I did skip some parts due to it being repetitive and everything, but I show the basics, and because there's no way you guys would have stayed for like the whole video. So I'll show you guys how to do like at least how to fill it in and everything, and I'll do my best. I'm explaining it to you and how I put the candy on, so just keep on watching to this video right here. First, I'm gonna start off brushing my brow hairs up, filling them in with the LA Girl Brow Pomade in the shade Brown Black, just to make my brows look natural, using lighter strokes in the beginning there, so I don't get a boxy brow. And I'm just taking some clear mascara from e.l.f. just to set that in place. Next, I'm gonna go in with a light concealer there, and I'm just using that to prime my eyelids and to carve out my brows. So I'm just using one that's a little bit lighter than my skin tone, just to help do a foundation for the shadows to stick on. Okay, first things first, I'm going to start laying down the color Sand from the Violet Frost Essentials palette, and I'm just saying that as a crease shade, transition. And then I'm going to go and deepen that up with the shade Cinnamon there. So I use Cinnamon to darken Sand up. Then I'm just going to go in between the two and just blend them out. That way it's more of a smoother transition instead of those harsh edges. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Black, and I'm going to lay that down to darken up the eye look. And then I'm actually cutting the crease with the concealer that I used before, and it's going to be the same paintbrush there. So I'm just using that to give myself a nice cut crease. Next, I'm using down the shade 518 from the Morphe James Charles palette just to give myself a nice orange, and then just packing that on the lid, and then I'm going to go in with the shade Love That and Escape from the palette as well. So I'm just using those as transition shades there. That way they have a nice blend. Then I'm going to go on top of it with the ColourPop Literally Obsessed or Firework. And I'm just placing that on top just to get a nice glitter look to it. And it's real pretty because it has stars and it's multi-dimensional, so it's very pretty. And I'm going to go in with this eyeliner I got from my Ipsy 1 month, and I'm just using that to use as an eyeliner. And I'm going to deepen in with those shades I used previous. So Escape, Love That, and then I'm going to go in with 518 as well. And I'm using a black eyeliner. Well, okay, I go too fast. So now I'm going to go in with the Muron. It's going to be the white cream based paint from them. And I'm just showing that, you know, it's okay to make mistakes with that. And this way you can make mistakes, you could just wipe it right off. And I'm just outlining where I want the rest of the designs to be. I even scared myself. So now I'm gonna take these Elmer's glue stick. I'm just using the purple clear one, the one that dries clear. Using that just to brush my eyebrows up, running that across the brows, just so it can seal them a little bit, and that way when I put the paint over top, it will be fine. Okay, the rest of this tutorial is going to be an epic fail. So, I actually could not find my black paint. So, I used the same eyebrow pomade I used earlier. So, it worked, but if you have a black paint, I would recommend that. Like a black face paint. Don't use acrylic on your face. But, I'm just using that, running that all across my face in between, just to separate where I'm going to put the trick side. So I'm just using that, and you see it goes right over the brows because the brows are laying nice and flat, and I'm just using that to fill it in. After that, I do actually go and set it with the translucent powder, because it was starting to actually, before the translucent powder, I used black eyeshadow. After the black, I was unsure about it. I used translucent. That's up to you. It's just I have a very oily face, so I didn't want to have my designs melting off my face more than what already was. So, yeah, I'm just filling in with this same brow pomade for the whole black side of my face. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Spooky from the Morphe James Charles palette, and I'm just using that just to deepen it up a little bit. It was alright. I wouldn't like I said, if you have face paint, use that, because I used a brow pomade, it was actually sticking to the bristles of the brush, so I didn't get the product as much as I wanted to out. But either way, it still worked, and I'm just trying to deepen that up a little bit so it really looks like the shade black and not something else. Next, I'm going to go into with the Suva Beauty hydraliner in the shade Space Panda, and I'm just using that just to draw out the details. So right now I'm just drawing in the pumpkin there, and I'm just going to do little swoops like that for the eyes, just to and the mouth, here it comes the mouth. It does not have to be perfect. It's a spooky pumpkin. It doesn't have to be perfect. None of it has to be perfect. But next I'm going to go in and draw this little ghost character that was originally a welcome mat that I found on Google. So I'm just using that in there, drawing the claws, because it looks like it's going to come after you, I guess. And so I'm just using that, and this is, that's just what it do. And I'm just going to continue adding now I'm adding in the face, giving a little spookiness going on. And I'm just now drawing a spider web there. Like I said, this does not have to be perfect. Spider webs are very irregular shapes, so that's what I'm just doing here. Now I'm just drawing out the words trick or treat, and I just wanted to put down the name on this. You know, I'm using that same eyeliner. I'm horrible at calligraphy, so that's what I did. And I added a couple extra characters on there. I didn't record that part, but I'm just showing you now. I am filling that pumpkin in with that same eyeliner. And this is what's going to help set down a base for the colors to be added on. So therefore it really makes it look like whatever color it's supposed to be, and not just like mixing shades, if that makes any sense. So I'm just filling that in very carefully where I want the color to be. I left the black parts black, but that's what you do. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade 518 again, and I'm just using that as a base for the orange, just to give it a nice base. And then I'm going to deepen it up with the shade Rusted, and then I am going to go and deepen it some more with the shade You're Kidding from the Morphe James Charles palette. And then I'm also going to add some highlights with the Violet Voss Essentials palette in the shade Gold. So that's what I'm using to do that. Next, I'm going to deepen up the black parts. That's supposed to be black with the same eyeliner I used before, which is going to be the Ico London I Do liquid eyeliner. So I'm just using those. It's a very nice eyeliner, very good for very fine tips like this, and it's very easy to use. So I'm just using that to fill it in, and now I'm just gonna use some liquid eyeliners that I have. This was a set I got off of Amazon for about $16. So I'm just using those just to draw you know, figures of candy on it, on the side, because it's going to be the treat side. So I'm just drawing random Jolly Ranchers, stars, and lollipops. Next, I'm going to go in with some more of that glitter from before, and just to add more glitter on it, because you can't never have enough. And then here is going to be the final result there. Like I said, I did showcase most of it, and I did add a purple lip that was from the Wet n Wild collection from last Halloween. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's going to be my Halloween trick-or-treat look. Thank you for watching.